Time for an all-new Blitz, brought to you by Bob and Ted's Trophy in Clarksville. I'm Brian Carr at White County with Warriors head basketball coach Sam Borg. Coach, you're always generous with your time. I really appreciate having you on the show as always.
Man, no problem. Thanks for coming out to White County again.
Oh, I enjoy it. Now, Coach, you're off to a 1-1 start this season, but before we dig into that, kind of want to get your thoughts on last year because I know I visited you guys mid-season. You made the state playoffs for the first time in 10 years. Big historic moment for this program. Sure, it gets the monkey off the back too. Talk about that experience of going to state, and maybe the bigger question: what impact did that have on the guys that are still on the team this year?
Yeah, I think you're right on. We really turned a corner last season, and we won more games than we'd won in 10 years, and the guys started to believe that they could win. We've had the ball handling and the outside shooting and the inside presence, I think, the last few years to have a winning team, and last year we really put it together. And I think a lot of it has to do with the style that we went to. We started playing a lot more up-tempo style, and we really like to press the whole game and really challenge your fundamentals and challenge your conditioning and see if you can handle 32 minutes of that. But, yeah, the state tournament, that was a great experience for us, and we were able to go to Cartersville last year, and we lost 82-77 in that game, but our guys really played at a very high level, and I think they're 25-2 going into that game, really good team. So for us to be able to go on the road in a state playoff atmosphere, really loud gym, and play at a high level was really big for White County. And like you said, the guys coming back, they feel like they belong now at the state tournament, and they belong now, and they feel like they should win games.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to be hungry for more, too, this year. Now, like we said, 1-1 so far on the season. You go to the Johnson tip-off, lose one to North Cobb, but you rebound, get a solid win against Kings Ridge. What have you seen out of your team the first two games? Some things that you're confident about, and then some other things that you definitely know need some improvement.
Yeah, well, North Cobb Christian was a really good team. They have a 7-footer and a 6'9", and some really good guards, and I knew that, and we tried to schedule a little tougher this year in non-region, because we knew 4A was going to be kind of a step up, and especially if you make the state tournament in 4A, it's going to be a really good competition the whole way. So we try to challenge ourselves with some tough games. We turned it over a little bit too much. A lot of teams are doing that right now. November basketball, just the little things. You're forgetting about the habits that you build over the course of the season, and it's amazing to see how teams come along from November to February and into March, with just blocking out, handling the ball, not turning it over, and just playing clean basketball. So we're not playing really clean basketball yet. Our effort is really good right now, and we're playing hard, but we're not playing as clean as I want to play yet. But it's November, so.
Yeah, and I know, Coach, one guy that you definitely miss is Spencer Adams. Every coach has to deal with turnover, and no one's immune to that. He was a very special player, averaged almost 19 points a game, 8 boards per game, 5-6 assists, 3-4 steals. I mean, the guy was flying all over the court, making plays in every aspect of the game. A very special player that you had to part with, but, that production has to be filled from somewhere. Talk about the offensive approach this year to be able to, I guess, make up for what you lost in Spencer Adams.
Right. Yeah, Spencer's a very special player. He was an all-region member, and he was an all-state honorable mention kid. So you can't replace. There's not another Spencer walking around the hallways, but we think that collectively we can make up for the job, the production that he left us with. The biggest thing, I think, is the guys just learning already in our scrimmage in our first 2 games how to play without him.
Yeah.
So it's late in the games. Somebody has to handle a basketball. Somebody has to make a play. Somebody has to beat their guy off the dribble, and Spencer did all that for us last year. So the guys are learning early in the season how to play their roles and to make up for Spencer's absence.
Yeah, I feel very confident you guys are going to be able to collectively do that, as you said. Now, December 2nd, you play Stevens County. Kind of be a little bit of a preview for what you got in store for 8-4A this year. And you're not strangers to playing Stevens County. They've been in and out of region with White County before. January is when the region slate really picks up. Talk about Region 8 4A this year. You got Buford moving up, North Hall. You mentioned some of those teams. What's it going to take for this team to grab a top 4 spot? Yeah,
we're going to, just the way the schedule works out, Region 8 4A plays really all of their region games late, and we only play once. You only play your opponent one time. So it's going to be very important to peak at the right time. We think of it as a process, and if we're getting better every single day, we're getting ready for that region slate. Your seeding is going to be determined by how are you playing for a 2 or 3 week stretch. So if we're playing our best basketball during that time, we try to get a good seed. That's going to help us get back to the state tournament.
Oftentimes in the area we see basketball teams across the state of Georgia that are one-dimensional, and maybe they rely on one person or one play, 3-pointers, for example, and those teams eventually get beat. One thing I liked from your team last year is that top to bottom, you had guys that I felt like could score from anywhere on the court, and that took a lot of pressure off guys like Spencer Adams. And then you would see guys like Whit Monty or a number of other guys that would make big plays. Will Gearing, one of those as well. Talk about how versatile this team is, and just what can we expect this year offensively and defensively?
Yeah, we appreciate it. That's kind of the style that we try to approach, is to have a lot of balance. And like you said, I think there's probably 8 or 9 guys in the locker room that any given night could score double figures for us. So it's really hard to scout when you have, a deep bench and guys coming in, and we have guys that can shoot the three, and we also have some bigs that can score inside. And so we have some pretty good balance, I think, and we'll be difficult to scout, I think, moving forward. As if you focus on one guy, we have other players that can step up and score for us.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch too. Last question for you, and then I'll let you go. But this is your 4th year as head coach of this program. You've done a phenomenal job here, because I think you started with 7 wins your first year. Is that right? And then
6.
6 wins, 10 wins, then 17. So you're building up, and you make the state playoffs. I know your expectations this year to go further even. But let's talk about the seniors you had this year. There's got to be some emotions, a little bittersweet, I guess, feelings there with this being your 4th year and coaching them all the way through. Yeah,
that's a good observation. Just to have guys that came to me as a freshman, it was my first year here at White County, and those, they came in as babies and maybe played some JV, maybe even played some varsity. That first year we were playing young guys on varsity, so they've been playing varsity for 3 or 4 years, and it's special to be a part of a young man's life beyond basketball and see them grow through the maturation process and growing into becoming a man. And we know when the season's over, we're at the banquet and we're at graduation, it's going to be emotional to see those guys that we've been together for 4 years, and to see them to walk out of these hallways will probably hit me a little harder than usual.
Yeah. Well, Coach Borg, again, thank you so much. I always appreciate your time. Always glad to come up here and talk either cross country or basketball with you. And looking forward to seeing your Warriors get past where you went last year, and hopefully make a deep run in the playoffs.
Sounds good. Thanks for the support. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, Coach. When we come back, we're going to have 2 of the Warrior guards here on Blitz.
No matter what the occasion or how big the achievement, everyone deserves an award. Look no further than Bob and Ted's Trophy in Clarksville. Trophies, medals, plaques, and more. It's what you need when you need it. Family owned and operated since 1974, Bob and Ted's has been rewarding the community for nearly 40 years, offering quality service at competitive pricing, all done with a speedy turnaround. Get what you need when you need it.